guys, we're the News 19 Nerds. We're live. It's Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving.
Out of your turkey comas, your food comas. Here we are.
So, don't break that. I got it at a yard sale.
Okay, I mean, I thought you were going to say something else. It's really valuable and sentimental to me. It's like, all right, you got a yard sale. It's great.
I paid $1 for it.
Okay, wonderful.
Probably $1 for that and the TIE Fighter.
Great. So yeah, we decided to do this, our press play normally on Thursday, we did it on Friday.
No, technically we're back to Fridays because...
Yeah, so when we first started doing these, we were doing them on Fridays, kind of gave everybody a nice way to end the week. Mm-hmm. Most of your nerd news was out, so we could talk about it.
Yeah.
Then we had to switch to Thursday because you had to shoot football on Friday.
Yep, high school football.
But high school football is winding down.
It's over for me.
So your services are no longer needed.
They don't need me anymore.
So we're going to try and go back to Friday as the plan.
Yeah, let's shoot for that.
So the people who watch this later, as you guys slowly come in.
Yeah. Johnny G.
I don't know what ripoffs are.
IMAX.
Toys R Us sucks ripoffs. Johnny G, explain that. What do you mean ripoffs? I don't know what he means by that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just saying hi.
Yeah.
Just saying hi. So yeah, we're doing our press play now. So our other topics we wanted to get to were Johnny G brought it up. Toys R Us. They're back. We want to talk a little bit of Frozen 2 in the box office and what that means for Disney. And
Sticking with Disney.
Yeah. Trying to get that Disney money.
Star Wars.
And Star Wars. What you want to? I'm gonna let you pick. What you want to get to first?
Let's do Star Wars.
Cool.
Yeah.
What happened with Star Wars?
Star Wars. J.J. Abrams went on Good Morning America, one of the morning. Good Morning America, right? Probably GMA, whatever.
Yeah.
He went there.
That would make sense since Disney owns ABC.
That would be so. Yeah, that's where he went, and said, "Man, we had this crazy story." And you have to wonder if they never got the script back, they probably wouldn't even brought it up. But since they were able to get it back and close it up, they're like, "It's a funny story now, probably, right?"
Hold on. Screw you, Avery.
Like, Avery, man, enjoy your time off.
Nah, man, he coming for me.
Who are you?
That's why I ain't coming to work Monday.
Oh,
well, laugh at that.
All right, shots fired.
Now I'm coming to work.
Yeah. So JJ went on GMA, said a script got out and was on eBay for a little bit, and Disney had to end up buying the script back from the person. They bought it probably back relatively cheaply, I would assume.
£85.
Yeah, that's for the final
£65, $84 American.
So for the final Rise of Skywalker, the script, that's a great deal. I would pay that for sure to get that back.
And then we found out
a few days later.
Yep.
John Boyega said it was me. He put it on Twitter. Actually, I think he first announced it on GMA, and then he's kind of like, my bad. And people kind of, ripping him. It seems like it's all good-natured because they're able to get it back before anything happened. This isn't the first time John Boyega has kind of like let stuff slip, though. So if people are like, man, John, we can't trust you with anything. And they kind of made a joke out of it. But he said something like he was moving apartments. He left the script under a bed or something.
He would read a script at night.
Yeah.
He would read the script at night and he would put it under his bed. So no one, if they were going through his stuff and or whatever, and he was moving. And then he was going to get it, pack it up. But him and his buddies, they started partying and they started having a great time and he forgot about it.
And then the clean lady picked it up. And
a housekeeper. They didn't say it was a woman.
My bad.
Housekeeper.
See? Yeah, that's good point.
Housekeeper picked it up.
Yes.
Then gave it to a friend.
Who put it on eBay.
Yeah. Which neither one of them knew what it was.
Yeah.
Which, to me, says they ain't got no real friends. Let me get the
Rise of Skywalker?
Let me get the Rise of Skywalker script.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's going to be a movie that I made. Because that is my bargaining price.
When do we know when this happened? Because
No
they once it wrapped up, they told us it happened, but we don't know when it actually got out.
Like when in production it happened, like at the very beginning.
Yeah.
You could find out. Just find out when John Boyega moved.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Somebody could figure that out.
Find out when John Boyega moved and then be like, okay, so it had to be during this time. Like, you can find out. Like, if you really wanted to, you could hire a private investigator and be like, okay, find out when he moved, then find out what was a cleaning company that was hired, find out who was on staff, and then you could easily find out, like...
so you're trying to do a deep dive.
I'm just saying, like, if you, like, honestly, I understand the ramifications of this story. But a news organization should honestly interview those people.
Yeah.
They literally should interview those people and be like, what did you think when you found this? Why did you put it on eBay? And who got in contact with you? And what was the process? And like, did they just pay you the money on eBay?
Or I feel like I would have went to your house.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah, let's just figure.
Let's talk because
you didn't print any copies.
Because this is the thing. This is what I want to know.
Sign this contract.
When it's sold for that much, or you got the script back, when did the light bulb go off on you that said, we had the script to this? Mm-hmm. Because Disney is making a lot of money on this. Mm-hmm. And you just, the script felt like, I want to know what the negotiations were.
I feel like they were probably very calm.
But what I'm saying is, did you know what you had? That's what, like,
probably not.
But what I'm saying is, if you didn't, and Disney was like, we'll give you $1,500 for it, and you're like, wait a minute, you're Disney.
Yeah. Why
are you just like, up like, if somebody, hey man, yeah, I got something called The Rise of Skywalker. Oh. Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, they told me to ask for $100 million. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting that we can all laugh at it now. Disney can laugh at it now. And it kind of just shows, again, how well structured Disney is. We always compare Disney to DC because they're both kind of like
Marvel.
Yeah, Disney with Marvel with DC. But it just seems like Disney just has their act together with things like this, right? Like if this were another studio, if this were
Fox,
or if this were like DC and a DC script, I feel like we would know the script to some movie, some kind of way. We would have this. We would know what happens in Aquaman 2, or whatever.
I mean, I wanted, and I hope Disney did right by these people who found it. Yes, they wanted to sell it because they were like, he didn't want it. He left it, because that's what I would think if you moved and you just left it.
Yeah.
Oh, just put this online. I would hope that they did right by these people by saying, hey, here's some tickets to the premiere. Mm-hmm. You know, Disney could be capitalizing on this, in my opinion. It's
a goodwill thing, like, yeah.
They always say no press is bad press. Like bad press there's no bad press.
Right.
You can flip this into something good.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if Disney was smart, or Kathleen Kennedy, whoever's in charge of that arm of publicity, promotions, marketing, I would have these people on Good Morning America. They're the people who found the script. They were selling it. They didn't make any. I'm sorry. They deserve something. Because that could have been. Imagine if the script had gotten out before the movie drops, and idiots like us found it. Because there'd be channels right now with, all right, scene 2, act 1, just reading,
sure.
reenact, there'd be people making the movie low budget on YouTube.
Yeah, again, I think everything just kind of worked out in the end. Good for Star Wars. I wonder if the people who put it up there, clearly they probably didn't know what it was, but they were just thinking, here's a script from a famous person, and they were just more like, you can get a copy of a script that an actor read, more so than whatever the script was, just the fact that an actor had it.
I would have liked to know, was it marked up any?
Yeah.
You to jump on it, yeah. What were the director's notes? To me, this whole story is cool. Yeah. And I would really like to know what all went down with this. So, what do you guys think? Let's stop and give shout-outs. Of course, we just mentioned Avery. IMAX, Johnny G, Miles Cage, John Greer, CB Hunts. John Greer brings up the Zoriel Bliss. I really, and don't tell us, I have gone out of my way not to know anything about this movie. Like I've seen the trailers, and I don't watch them anymore. I want to go into this movie not knowing, oblivious to who these people are, how we get. So I agree with John Greer. Those action figures are cool. I bought 2 of these. Don't even know if they'll show up in the movie. Because a red stormtrooper, I think it's cool as hell. Don't know if it'll show up.
It's a good old Captain Phasma.
Yep. Ooh. Just thought about that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And really, I feel like Captain Phasma was like the new generation's Boba Fett, right?
Yeah.
Where everybody thought this character was going to do much, and then in the end, just kind of
do something. Supposedly the books and the backstory behind her is cool, and the
Okay, I
comics
can
make her
believe it.
cool. But that's why people love the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because the Mandalorian is what if Boba Fett had done something cool. I'm being honest. That's what it is. The Mandalorian is if Boba Fett was cool.
You keep saying Bobo.
Is it Boba?
Boba. Like boba tea.
I have a cousin named Bobo.
The more you know about
So,
Leroy.
sorry.
Okay, great.
Boba Fett.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what the Mandalorian is. So I'm hoping that this is great.
Okay.
So that's the story.
Yeah, that's Star Wars.
What do you want to go to now?
You go, you pick. I picked the first one.
I want to go to Toys R Us.
Uh-huh.
They're back. Why, I don't know.
So I worked at Toys R Us for...
You were a store manager, right?
No, I was a store manager at GameStop. I
Okay.
was just a sales associate at Toys R Us.
How much
But
you steal from Toys R Us?
I've never stolen anything from any retail job.
Really?
Yeah, because I know what it's like to get stuff stolen from you as a store manager, and then you're worried about your job being on the line because that shrink is here's a little inside baseball, at least for GameStop. When I worked at GameStop as a store manager, there's a certain amount of shrink you can account for. Like this amount of loss can be stolen.
Yeah.
If you go over that amount, then you're kind of on the line for like, hey, you shouldn't be the store manager of the store because you can't account for stuff being stolen from your store.
Yeah.
So as somebody who has had stuff stolen from their store, I would never steal from a retail store.
Okay.
Nah.
I was just wondering if you mark stuff down.
No.
Like, really? I've worked in retail part time for a number of years, and I remember how there would be new stuff would come in and somebody would hide it.
Oh,
so
now
they could
I've
mark
seen
it,
stuff happen at Toys R Us,
and they would
but yeah, I've never done
they
it.
would hide stuff and then wait for it to go on sale. And then when it would go on sale, they would bring it back out so they can mark it down and they can get it. And I've seen people put stuff we would destroy certain things and they would move it to the destroy pile and they would at the last minute be able to buy it and stuff like that. So I've seen that that's what I was wondering. And stuff like that.
So yeah, I've seen it. Worked there for 5 years. The one here, the one that was at in Harbison.
Columbiana.
Yeah, Columbiana. For people who know where we are. It was a fun job overall. I now that thinking about it, now we're on Black Friday, I could think, man, geez, 7-8 years ago, I would have been at Toys R Us now, doing dealing with horrible customers. They're loving it.
Yeah, some of y'all are horrible.
Yeah, y'all are. Some of y'all customers are bad. You know who you are.
Yeah.
You know the ones who spit on employees.
Whoa! That you saw that?
Yeah.
It wasn't you, was it?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh.
Nope. I saw it happen. I saw the employee punch the customer like they deserved it. Now the employee got fired, but I was like, man, do what you gotta do. You gotta spit on. I respect it.
Dang.
Yeah. So yeah, they're back. They filed for bankruptcy a couple years ago, and now they've opened their first.
Last year?
Either last year, it might have been last year. They had been having troubles for a while.
Yeah.
And a lot of retail kind of stores are, but the thing with Toys R Us is they only specialized in toys. And in the beginning, when they were first around, before Amazon, that was incredible that you could go to a dedicated toy store.
Yeah.
You had Toys R Us, you had KB Toys, and that was kind of it.
Well, the problem
dedicated.
One of the
stores.
things, and there's a great channel that talks about the breakdown, and I'm trying to remember what it's called, but they deal with action figures and toy lines and stuff like that. But the guy he talked about, it might be called Toy Galaxy, but he talked, and people had talked about why Toys R Us went the way it did. It was two things. One, they did not keep up with online sales. They did not do it. Their online store is trash. They didn't do a good job of that. And the symmetry from buying that we see now, Toys R Us was lagging. In other words, if I'm in the store and I want to buy this Ahsoka toy, and they don't have it, one of the things that you can always do, we can buy it online for you and ship it to the store. Toys R Us, the website and the store was not in sync.
Yeah, from when I worked there, I would say it was difficult at times to do a online purchase for something and then bring it to something else.
Yeah.
It was easier like at a store like Best Buy when I worked at Best Buy in terms of buying stuff online for people to get it shipped to them.
That was one big problem. The other big problem was the corporate entity that owned Toys R Us was hot garbage. You can go back and read go on CNBC, Fox News Business, and look at they have articles and stories dedicated to the destruction of Toys R Us from the inside. Corporate raiders, how they leveraged the business, how they treated employees. It was atrocious. And
Yeah.
that,
I left before it got super bad at Toys R Us.
Yeah.
But I knew people who stayed there until they left. I actually ran into them a few weeks ago at somebody's wedding or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we were just talking about the old days, and some of the stuff was after I left, but they were still there in terms of like CEOs and like the top executive branch. They would still like get bonuses and stuff,
Mhm.
but they weren't. That money wasn't funneling down to store level employees and associates, which is horrible.
not even funneling down to them, not even doing store upgrades, upgrading the infrastructure of Toys R Us, not even doing upgrading the website. Like they were literally stealing money to me from the company, investing in getting it for themselves, and the store is literally dying. And that to me was a very big problem. And I'll be honest with you, the only time I ever went to Toys R Us if there was an exclusive or something that I wanted, or I saw there was a glitch in their system and I could buy something at Toys R Us.
One thing that was cool about Toys R Us was the getting exclusives. They had a good deal with a couple different like distributors like Hasbro and Mattel. So they would have exclusives for like maybe a G.I. Joe line or for a certain Transformer or the more recent Power Rangers before they got bought by, who they owned by, Nickelodeon now?
Maybe, I don't know.
No, maybe it's Hasbro. Before they got Hasbro and they were still like Bandai.
I don't know. There's one over there. It's Hasbro.
It's Hasbro?
Yeah, because Sidewinder's back there. I
Okay.
can see it.
Yeah. But yeah, but for Power Rangers or whatever, before Hasbro bought them in their original, when they were Bandai, there would be exclusive toys you could only get at Toys R Us, which was great. And I remember seeing collectors coming in there, and whenever first thing we would open, we'd be like, "Hey, y'all got this out on the shelf yet?" Nope. And they would hound us to go back into the back because we were still clearing out the truck and be like, "See if it's in here," and we had to pull it out. So, but that was a haven for a lot of people to find that hard to find stuff. And again, being in a big toy store was pretty cool.
So if you go right now, the website is online. So they have Toys R Us. The website's back.
The website has been back before.
Yes.
I mean, the website came back before the physical store.
Before the physical store. So
Right.
the website's back.
Yeah.
And so they're opening 2 stores. One will be open December the 1st. One
Opens tomorrow.
opens tomorrow.
In New Jersey.
In Paramus, New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's a 6,000 square foot store, has a treehouse, has a place where they can do events. I've never been to that mall, but I have been to the Galleria in Houston.
Okay.
That mall is huge, and I can see why they're putting it there. And it's one of those malls that has like a Tesla dealership, or like this mall has an actual art gallery in it.
Okay.
This is a mall that has like a Louis Vuitton, it has a Prada store.
Okay.
And I'm talking like the Louis Vuitton store has doors to get into where they're like,
Yeah, they can check what
they're
their clientele is before they come in.
Can I help you?
Yeah.
Like that. So I can see why it's going in that store. So that's 2 stores. It seems to be that they're going more for the boutique for their physical stores.
Yeah.
The website, it's not bad. It ain't great. It's not bad. The thing that I've noticed that they have it split up. So let's do action figures and play sets. Action figures has its one thing. Collectible figures has its other thing. The one thing I've noticed that they do not have is video games.
I wonder if it's coming to the website later because Nintendo, I don't know if it was Nintendo of America or Nintendo Japan, but an official Nintendo account tweeted out that they're excited that the physical store is back because they're going to have kiosks in the store.
That makes sense.
So they're already teamed up and they're ready for tomorrow's launch because they were saying we're going to have places where you can play. So it's interesting that it's not on the website yet.
And that's why I wonder, this is the thing that I wonder, because one of the things that Best Buy did when they were floundering and they had issues and how they were able to beat back Amazon was that they partnered with people like Samsung, Apple, and they allowed them to have spaces in the store with actual sales reps. So when you go to a Best Buy, that Samsung guy works for Samsung, does not work for Best Buy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of those Best Buy employees that you see who work in those particular zones are actually trained either by Apple or actual Apple employees who work at that particular store so that they can help you and train other Best Buy employees on how this stuff works.
And I know the same thing is true for Nintendo. I can't think of his last name. First name's Peter. Really cool. You met him, yeah. You know, really cool guy. I've known Peter for a while because I've known him when I worked at Toys R Us and GameStop, and he's worked at Nintendo for years. He kind of always gives me an inside scoop on like, man, you should check this out, that kind of stuff. Really cool guy. But again, he works for Nintendo. He helps train us on how whatever the new game is going to be and talk about all that kind of stuff. So it's cool that you're getting specific representation from a Nintendo representative who knows what they're talking about.
So what I'm wondering is it going to work this time? You start small. You got 2 stores, very very bougie, very unique locations. One is 6,000 square foot. I don't know how big the one in Galleria is going to be. It seems to me that they're going to be at these exclusive locations. So is it going to kind of be like, I don't want to say exclusive like Build-A-Bear, but it's like Build-A-Bear, you can only go get them from Build-A-Bear. And it's an experience to go. Do you think it's going to be like that?
I think you can see it with, like you said, with Best Buy, you see it with Toys R Us. And I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a couple months ago, about how the new GameStop design is looking, how they're making it more like a boutique store, and like they're bringing retro games back where you can sit down. A lot of these stores, to try to combat Amazon, they want to make it an experience where you can't get this on Amazon. You can come here and chill and relax. And I feel like they're going for that maybe not even exclusive like high price, but just an experience to sit down and play and talk to people and just converse about whatever your particular passion is. Before Toys R Us went away the first time, they had kind of started doing this in terms of like every other Saturday they would have some type of play demonstration. Nintendo would have a play demonstration about a big game coming out, but they would also have these big events where kids could come in and like run around the store, have a big kind of event with Jeffrey the Giraffe.
Yeah, they talked about Jeffrey's going to be there.
Yeah, and it was just an event that you had to be at in person. You couldn't experience it online because you wouldn't get the same feeling.
And it's funny that you mentioned that. Now I want to bring up, because 2 things. One, CB Hunts. If you go tomorrow, he says he lives in Houston, tweet at us or put it on Instagram, tag us in it. If you go, I want to know what it looks like inside. From somebody who's going, who's experiencing this for the first time in their brand new store. Tweet us because we're all gonna live vicariously through you as you go.
Also, if you're going tomorrow, then let us know if it's open, because the story we read said it was going to be December 1st. Tomorrow would be the 30th. So are they opening it early, or just curious about that? Whenever you go, just let us know.
Yeah, so let us know.
2,
let's get some of the comments. I'd care if they set up a high-end collectibles division for stuff. And this is something I think Toys R Us could capitalize that no one else does. One of the things that you have been to San Diego Comic-Con. You've been going for years. A lot of those toys and exclusives you can only get through San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You just mentioned about the exclusives through Hasbro and some of the other places. What Toys R Us could do that I think would be something that would be amazing is you have the toys. So you have, I don't want to say your low end, but your toys for regular kids. If they had a section for big kids, those of us who, and you talked about collectors, you could make money by having a collectible division that you don't have to just get from online. You don't have to worry about whether or not, I'm not saying somebody like Sideshow or Hot Toys, but it would be cool if they had some of those type things.
The SH Fig Arts, I've seen those before. Yeah, that, like that being a Toys R Us would be something.
Kind of like when you go to Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble's done a good job of this. Partnering up and having the...
Kotobukiya stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
I bought this at Barnes & Noble. I bought this at Barnes & Noble. I got this, I lie to you guys not. This was $30. I waited for it to go on sale. It was $60. About $60. It retails about $100 and something, maybe close to $2. I couldn't buy this at that price. It went on sale for about $60 something, and it came down, and I had a coupon, and I got it for about $35. Matter of fact, I got this one cheaper than I got the smaller version, and I like it. I would like to see Toys R Us to have that type of thing where you don't have to go online to an online retailer and worry about, okay, oh, Jeffrey Shear says New Jersey opened early.
Okay.
Which we talked about this. We thought they should have opened on Black Friday, so that makes sense. And and I honestly wonder if Black Friday was their
Soft opening.
soft open, and then tomorrow's their big opening.
Yeah, that's probably when you bring out your multiple Jeopardy mascots. You probably got a big cake and whatever. Maybe you have some version of the 501st out there.
I mean, to me, and that's what I'm wondering if this is if that's where they're going. If they got some really smart people, hire us. We could really change your life. But they bring this up. High-end action figures for the collectors. What's up, Brett Warren? It would be really cool to see that in the store. Have your Legos, because these companies, they have their own store, just like Apple has their own store, just like Google and Microsoft has their own store. But in Toys R Us, have someone in a booth or a boutique in the store, kind of like you have when you go into a Belk or a Dillard's. They have makeup counters from MAC, Maybelline, from all these different things, and you sell those wares there. I would love to see that. To me, that's not necessarily, what do they call it? That appointment television. That would be a destination for me. Like, you would have to go.
Right. Make it a curated experience for you or whatever, for sure. Yeah. I wonder, and like you said, it's good that they're starting in these bigger places to see if that can be expanded to like a smaller market, or if they're just going to keep going to like, maybe next they'll go to New York, and then maybe they'll go somewhere in Los Angeles or something, big, densely populated cities where they can kind of sustain that type of whatever.
And it's funny you mentioned that. So T. Moore said, just got the Reebok Sentinel Yellow Mosquito. Would have paid more to buy direct at Toys R Us. And that's something, and I'll be honest with you, that's something because how many times have we seen online from collectors buying stuff and it comes broken, it comes shipped, messed up, or the boxing. How many of these guys and girls would go directly to a store and say, I want that?
Yeah.
There
is something about being able to see the product that you're buying that I like. There's definitely an ease of just like one-click shopping at Amazon. You guys have made it a science. You guys perfected it, and it's cool. But there's something about being able to
got
see.
this from Amazon.
There's something about being able to see an item and hold it and look at it, and because for collectors, they want to check the box and be like, there are no dents, there's no deformations in the packaging, no scuff marks, all that kind of stuff.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. So I bought this. This is the Black Series Sith Trooper carbonized. There are 4 exclusive Black Series action figures. There's a Mandalorian, a Night Sister. So the Mandalorian is a Target carbonized exclusive. There's a white Jet Trooper from Rise of Skywalker, exclusive to Walmart. The red Sith Trooper is exclusive to Amazon, and there's a Night Sister exclusive to GameStop.
Okay.
So each of those action figures are exclusive to those stores. Amazon, when they first started sending these, were sending these in the envelopes.
Oh, that's it?
Yep.
Wow.
And so this is, again, I got it. It's not bad.
It looks good.
It looks good. I did not get mine in an envelope. Okay. So if you go on Amazon right now, you can still buy one. They're about $20 to $24. If you ordered it the first wave, people were showing the boxes on Amazon. They were talking about how trashed it was, how the packaging was damaged, how the plastic, and they were like, "This sucks." And Amazon listened. What Amazon did was they stopped sending them, and then repackaged. This came in a heavy-duty box. Okay. That goes back to what you were saying. Collectors want to look at they want to see it. They want to make sure it's not damaged, and that goes a long way. And it goes back to that customer experience we all talked about. We know that there's a woman who works here who has a young son. She wants to get into video games. She doesn't want to buy something that's not for him.
Right.
And The Witcher 3 is going to be cheap right now. God of War is going to be cheap right now.
Those games are not for him.
That's not for a 10-year-old. No. And she wouldn't know that just by clicking because she would see it's on sale.
Yeah.
And that's The Last of Us. I love that game. That's not a game for a 10-year-old.
That is a game for adults. That game is intense.
So that's one of those things where I think you're right, that personal shopping experience. And that's where I think comic books should do a better job of creating an atmosphere and not have it be these stuffy, and somebody's gonna get mad at me, but these, like, comics aren't just for dudes. Mm-hmm. They're for everybody. And when you have just one group of people running a store, and it's not inviting to certain people, you're killing your industry because you're not bringing in new fans.
Yeah.
And that's what I think Toys R Us, I hope, does a better job of bringing in more people.
Somebody said in the chat, made a joke like, "Do we really need Toys R Us?" And I say sure, only because I think it's.
I say yes.
I say yeah. I like the idea again of going into a store and seeing a bunch of toys. That's just fun. Sometimes you may not even have any money to buy anything. You just want to go and look. It can brighten up I have seen people come into a store who are having in a Toys R Us, have a bad day and just look at stuff, maybe play the displays of the video games for a second, cheer up. It's just fun.
And not only, to me, I think there's something to, one, letting Amazon take over is a bad precedent for us in our line of fandom, because then that means we only have one store to buy stuff from.
Yeah.
We have complained about GameStop and their shady business practices and all the things. I don't want GameStop to go away. I want them to get better.
Right.
And we need that, because the more options we have, the better the businesses, the better our fandom and genre is. Having Toys R Us, to me, having GameStop helps us. They need to do better, because when you're limited to 3 stores, because think about it, without Toys R Us, without that store, we're limited to video games and collectibles to Best Buy, Amazon, Target, and Walmart.
And I got to say, Target has gotten better, but those other places,
Walmart is trash. When it comes to
collectibles, and toy selection at Walmart's not great.
No.
Best Buy, it's good for electronic stuff, but otherwise it's not that great. Target's okay, but yeah, Toys R Us kind of had everything that you wanted.
And I think that goes back to that whole idea of, and this is the thing, the fandom already has us. Everybody on this chat, me and Michael, they're not kids. Some of you guys out there might be kids, but you got your start from going with your parents, seeing something in the toy store, seeing something with a brother or sister. We need kids in our fandom and genre, because that's how we grow this, so that it is on par as a sport, as a baseball, football, basketball. And we need that for us to grow a new generation of fans. And you're right, CB Hunt's Walmart is stepping up on NECA. So is Target. Target has stepped their game up. Target has really become a very nice store. Walmart, they need to do better. They have a lot of stuff, but they need to do better about how they present it. And they are getting better. But having just 4 stores for us does not bode well for us in the future.
Yeah.
We need more. We need the Toys R Us's, and I hope it does well.
Yeah. You want to move to your final topic?
I want to say something. Breck Warren, my local comic shop, Powers Comics and Collectibles in Green Bay, are owned by a husband and wife team who is incredible. He's a comic fan and she's begrudgingly becoming one. Our comic book store, or 2 of them that we go to here, Ray Hunter owns Cosmic Rays. His wife is a comic fan, and in the beginning she gets on him about buying stuff, but she's a comic fan as well, and has helped him stores making reboots. I like that. I like that, Damien Estrada. I see that. I really hope. Breck Warren, check Target. Target has a lot of good exclusives when it comes to Funko Pops. They had the George Jefferson and Wheezy exclusive 2-pack Funko Pops. They have a lot of them. And also, little hint, guys, hunt through your Goodwill sometimes, because Target has a deal with Goodwill somehow, where they send some of their stuff to Goodwill that's marked down. That's how I got my the
Drop Mix?
Drop Mix. I bought you know what I was talking about.
I did.
Goodwill. $15. So, and it came from, and it was a Target exclusive. I got it from Goodwill. Okay. So yeah, I definitely say check those places. Timor, a few local toys stores near me for collectibles. They have old stuff, and they're on it. I mean, they're shout out to you guys. They're on it. Next story.
Frozen 2. Let it go again, I guess. Because Frozen 2 won't die. Frozen won't die. I didn't see Frozen 2, but I know there's an end credit scene, and apparently it's setting up stuff for more Frozen down the line.
I don't want to spoil it, but you know.
Did you see it?
No,
Oh. No, don't tell me.
Okay.
I'll watch it eventually, probably when it comes to Disney Plus. I'll watch it.
So that's my so.
So, sorry, Frozen 2 broke animated box office records.
So, biggest global opening of all time for an animated film.
Mm-hmm.
Top international opening for an all-time animated film. All these are not just adjusted for inflation. Biggest domestic November opening for an animated film. Biggest IMAX opening for an animated film. Third biggest domestic animated opening of all time. Third biggest industry opening of all time in South Korea for any film. Top 3-day domestic opening for Walt Disney Animation Studios. And it's projected to make another $120 million this weekend.
So, you wanted to talk about this topic, and I was like, who cares about Frozen 2? It's going to make money. But you brought up an interesting thing, tying it to the recent...
Two things that I wonder about this.
The recent release of Disney Plus.
Disney Plus talks about that when people download it, Disney Plus had 10 million subscribers. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what those numbers mean as far as how many people are free trial, D23 signups. We don't know.
Yeah.
But when I got my Disney Plus, the first week, the two things that came up when you have those things was Mandalorian and Frozen 2 as the marquee up there. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, don't get me wrong, I know Frozen 2 was fueled by viewers who saw Frozen. Mm-hmm. We know that because Frozen was a box office success. But that Disney didn't even see coming. Like, they knew it was going to be good. They didn't realize that song. Yeah. They did not see that coming. A lot of people thought, yeah, Frozen would do well. Frozen 2 blew out expectations. Every expectation this movie had, it succeeded that. I want to know how much of those numbers are due to Disney Plus dropping basically 2 weeks before, or what, a week before?
Disney Plus was the 12th. We got calendars. We can figure this out. Disney Plus was the 12th. Mm-hmm. And then Frozen would have been last week. So about a week and a half.
So 10 days.
Yeah,
Let's say 10 days.
Yeah.
How much of Frozen 2's box office came from Disney Plus? Because this is the thing I've noticed. I'm not a parent, but I know I have a lot of friends of mine who are. When your kid likes something, and you know what? This is where we need Miles Cage Jr. because he has kids. Mm-hmm. And those of you who have kids, let us know. When your kid gets a hold of something, Vanessa and her little girl,
they're watching stuff all the time.
They watch that religiously.
Yeah.
And they do not stop. How much of that was from Disney Plus?
I want to know, when are they going to start doing things where, looking forward, if you have Disney Plus, can you get some type of discounted rate on a Disney movie at a theater?
I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I think they're going to do? The opposite. If you go see this movie, you could get Disney Plus a month for free or something like that. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think like if you go to see Star Wars in IMAX and you pay $30 per ticket, there may be, hey, here's a free. Do you not have Disney Plus? Well, watch it for free for 30 days or so. I think we're going to start seeing that.
CP Hunt says, thought it was illegal to be a monopoly. How are you going to stop Disney from owning anything? Honestly, that's a great question. I don't know how they're allowed.
We have asked that question. We don't know.
I don't know whose hands they greased or whatever to own everything, but they just keep buying up properties.
I don't know what hands they greased, but I know they sent some direct deposits to some people.
Yeah, it seems weird that they can own everything.
But it does.
Yeah.
Damien is trying to say Frozen movie equals Baby Shark.
Yeah.
But I mean, my question is that. And also, this is the problem. Timor, I don't know. I want to see that fight. He says, I think HBO Max will blow them out. I want to see that fight. Because I think what Disney's doing is the opposite of what HBO Max is doing.
But I feel like HBO Max is pulling from so many sources. in my mind, and I don't know the numbers. It seems like there's going to be more content on HBO Max only because it's from so many sources.
Oh yeah, I think HBO Max is going after Netflix. They're not going after Disney.
Yeah.
Disney to me is in their own. They're in their own little world.
Like Disney is kind of like the Nintendo Switch in that.
Yes.
The Nintendo wants you to own a PlayStation and us, or an Xbox and us. Mm-hmm. And Disney Plus, like, yeah, you can have Netflix and us.
That's a good analogy.
Or Hulu
That's a
and
good,
us.
because Disney does Disney well. Nintendo does what. So it's like that old thing. Sega does what Nintendo don't. Nintendo's good with that.
Yeah.
Disney's like, you're coming for us for family-friendly content. Mm-hmm. You want to see cursing and other stuff? Go someplace else.
Yeah.
You want to see sex? Don't bring it here, because you go get kids, cuddles,
hey, you know
puppies.
What? It was last weekend. I watched what's that movie with the kids and the teens and they're young and they're cool. It's got Gabrielle Union in it.
Bring It On.
Not that one.
That's the only one I know with Gabrielle Union in it.
It's got Larissa Olenek in it.
I have no idea who that is.
Heath Ledger.
I know him. Oh, 10 Things I Hate About You.
That movie's on Disney Plus. That is not.
Oh no, it's
family friendly.
Because
I had never seen it before. I saw it last weekend. It's like
I've seen it,
and I enjoy it, but I was like, I don't think this should be on Disney Plus.
But this is the thing.
That's probably from Fox or something.
But it's like right there at that risque mark.
I was like, man.
It's right there.
Yeah.
To where you can get away with it and put it on. And
it was wild.
And that's what I said.
That. Yeah.
So, but this is the other thing. X-Men isn't on Disney Plus. You know why, Timor? Because it's trash. It's hot garbage. And don't you sully Disney Plus with that horrible Bryan Singer mess. Woo!
I mean, I think the big overarching theory is that Disney's like, yo, we bought X-Men so that we can bury X-Men. Nobody can ever find it again. And the X-Men you will see will be the ones we create.
You know what Disney did? Disney did to X-Men what that old man did in Old Yeller at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Because we got the cartoon X-Men on Disney. Mm-hmm. I think Wolverine and X-Men's on there as well as the Fox Kids X-Men. Mm-hmm. So they do have some X-Men on there. They just don't want you to see those movies ever again.
Now, this is the thing that I thought was interesting, and I want your take on it. So right now, Frozen could be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Frozen could be the 6th Disney movie this year, or that could break $1 billion.
Sure.
Captain Marvel, 1.1 billion. This is worldwide box office. Endgame, 2.7 billion. Toy Story 4, 1 billion. Lion King, 1.6. Aladdin, 1 billion. Frozen. Now Disney at right now, not even including Frozen 2, Disney sits at $7.4 billion. That's without Star Wars and Frozen 2's gross.
Final gross.
With anything.
Right.
I didn't even factor in.
Okay.
That's not even, right now, just from what I added up, that's $7.4 billion. Is it unreasonable to think, excuse me, at the end of the year, Disney could hit $10 billion?
No, because I mean, I think it's easy. How much did the first Frozen make?
Oh man, ask me something.
I feel like Frozen 2 could hit $1 billion. Well, here's the question though: is it going to do it before the end of the year? That's what you're asking. That's going to be tough because Star Wars comes out
December 20th.
Yeah, that's only like 10 days of Christmas or 10 days of December, more or less. I don't think you're going to get to like $2 billion in 10 days. I don't think.
True. Depends on how they do their
1.2, almost 1.3. All right, so I was going to say they each did 1.5, but I don't know if it'll do it before the end of the year.
Hell, Frozen. This is the thing. Frozen could just make $2 billion right now, and Star Wars just needs to make $1 billion by the end of the year.
Yeah, but
worldwide gross.
Yeah, but that's not a lot of time. Because think about Endgame. It took
Endgame a long time to get that number.
Right, and they had to re-release it.
True, but
that was months.
It didn't take Black Panther that long to make that money.
True.
Black Panther. So I guess what I'm saying is, or what I'm asking is it possible they will make $8 billion by the end of the year?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Could they hit 10? I mean, maybe. I don't think so, but it's possible.
And this goes back to a little bit the reason why I said,
you want Disney to make $10 billion? Do your part and go see Star Wars multiple times. That's what Leroy wants.
That's not what I want. I'm gonna bring it up, even though I want this conversation to die. But his movie just came out, and you kind of have to talk about it. He just did the op-ed, and The Irishman just came
Irishman?
out. So the reason why I bring that up is because I can kind of see why he's a little upset. I can see why Scorsese's upset, because if Disney does this every year, if in your small studio, yeah, you're going to lose out to a Frozen. You're going, and so I can understand his. Now the way he went about it, to me, was wrong. I do not agree that superhero movies are not cinema. If he wants to excoriate the actual business of making movies, that's different. Because if you go back, there's an article, Polygon just wrote an article on the Paramount, what's the word I'm looking for?
Merger? Paramount?
No.
I don't know.
So, have you heard about this? So there's a deal that does not allow movie studios to own their own theaters.
Oh, yes, I saw that article, because the
Yep.
Trump administration and Department of Justice have
They're
repealed 4 different reviewing
So
4 different
basically
laws.
what that means is that, and this is why I say I bring this up. This, to me, this all goes hand in hand. It's all one hand feeding the other. We just talked about Disney's a monopoly. They've made $8 billion this year alone. Disney can buy Regal. And then Disney can say, you're going to play our movies when we want, and you can only get our movies at this theater chain.
Yeah.
And then they can go to AMC and say, yeah, you can get our movies. You can get this, but guess what? You get it a week late.
Yeah.
So you miss out on that box office. And this is where I think, I say again, I think superheroes take up less than 5% of the screens. They are hurting movies. Brian Barrett, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not, because I'm going to say he has a point when he says these huge movies push out other movies. What I'm saying is Disney on track to basically wreck the movie industry with these numbers and the amount of money that they're making?
I don't know if they're going to wreck it, just because...
Because they put it like this.
Even so, as much as Disney makes, right? This is how many movies?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7.
7 movies out of 12 months.
Yeah.
I think the average person could see more movies than that. I think
Sure,
the average
but-
person probably sees more than one movie every month.
No, I disagree.
You don't think so?
My in-laws hadn't seen a movie since we went and saw Holmes and Watson last year.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, they like
Okay,
and they
all right.
and so we took them to see Mr. Rogers. They hadn't been since then.
Oh, wow.
So each person is different. Like
Okay.
my mom hasn't been to a movie theater in years. Like we take my dad,
Okay.
and he goes and sees all this stuff
Okay.
with us, and he's just blown away. My mom is not that person. My wife, she'll go to certain stuff, and she went and saw my family today while I was at work. They went and saw Queen and Slim. So it just depends. But the reason why I bring this up is because, to me, it's almost like Disney is a drug cartel, where they're literally controlling. Let me show you. They're literally controlling everything about the movie industry. In other words, they have something, they have a product, they put in a movie theater. They're not able to buy a movie chain. Dictate when you see it.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Eventually.
Right.
Then they control when it comes out on DVD. Then they control when it comes out on streaming. And you can only get it on their streaming site.
Yeah.
They literally are rigging the market for them. And that's why I said this Frozen 2 to me is not just a box office good for them. It literally is that synergy from, we dropped Disney Plus, we've been running Frozen. You can watch Frozen all you want. We dropped the movie right after that. And then we have this, which then fuels our box office budget to $10 billion, which then allows us to turn around and say, let's buy a movie theater. So they force the houses to keep their movies on the prime screens longer. Damon Disney is everything, even ESPN, the only thing is condoms. Damon Estrada, be prepared for Disney to make condoms that don't work, so that they can keep having more people and then they just keep building their empire. Remember that Disney has stipulations when they show their films. Like, this is the thing. I'm telling y'all, I'm not trying to be the conspiracy theorist. I'm bringing up Frozen 2's box office in relation to what Disney has shown that they are going to do, and they are the juggernaut when it comes to movie theaters. To putting their movies in movie theaters and what they will and won't do to you to get what they want. And I'm a little concerned because, like Michael said, they're going to hit $8 billion before the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's not unreasonable for them in a year like this, they could hit $10 billion. Because in 2022? Or is it 2021? Avatar.
Man, I don't care what happens.
You don't, but Disney does, and that's why they bought Fox.
Ugh, man.
Because that was the other movie. When I got my Disney Plus, Avatar was in that marquee section, and then blue monkeys were flying on those little flying reptiles on my screen. And so, Ultra Instinct Goku, do you think Disney will really make that Dragon Ball Z movie? Somebody said stop. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Disney's getting into anime just yet. And I think Amazon and Netflix are going to be fighting over anime. I think that's their wheelhouse. Crunchyroll, Rooster Teeth, that's their wheelhouse.
Yeah, but that don't say Disney can't buy Crunchyroll.
I'm not saying that they can't. I'm saying that right now, Disney has Pixar. They're making money hand over fist. They're not there yet. I just wonder, and I worry about all of this because I'm looking at the trend and I'm saying, Disney's set up like a drug cartel. Like how they control, like if you watch Narcos, you go back and watch all these movies, they talk about controlling supply and distribution. Disney is doing that. And that is scary to me.
Yeah.
Am I being the sky's falling?
No,
Because you're usually the smart guy.
It's always worrisome when one entity is kind of doing whatever it wants, willy-nilly and controlling. I mean, my bigger question is, and not getting political or anything, or discussing whether you're for or against President Trump. But one thing that his administration has done is fight certain monopolies in terms of people trying to become monopolies. Like the administration did try to fight certain mergers and stuff happening. Now, granted, it didn't work, but at least they did put up that fight to be like.
And true,
part of that stuff shouldn't.
And part of the reason why he did it was because it was personal.
Yeah.
I understand, and that's my question, and that's what I'm wondering, because one of the things that I think with the Paramount Accords or whatever they are, the directives, I don't know what the future is for a company the size of Amazon. If they actually bought their own movie studio.
I mean, they have a studio.
They don't have like a...
They have Amazon Studios.
But the thing is, they don't actually own a theater chain.
Right.
They have their own studios. They make their own movies. But they don't have a theater chain. And that's the scary thing. And supposedly, if I remember correctly, that was something that was back in the day that people had. Movie theaters were owned by studio chains.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, how does a movie like Us get made? Or a small movie like The Blair Witch Project? Or how do those little mini movies, Lady Bird, get into movie theaters?
Yeah. Because
they're not these huge movie franchises. They're not these huge IPs. Hopefully, Warner Brothers is able to... Brett Warren, Leroy's conspiracy brother. I'm throwing it out. I'm asking y'all because I don't know. Because to me, I see a criminal enterprise in Disney and how they're operating as far as like a monopoly. Because Michael's asked, you guys have asked, how has Disney been able to do this and get away with it?
Yeah. But that's okay, Disney. You bought me. I'm sold.
Oh.
They got me.
This is one of those things where like you get me, and as I'm walking out like Puppet Masters, and
I don't know. I'm just saying, man. I'm really liking Disney Plus with y'all keep making Jeff Goldblum. We gonna be all right.
Hey, I love Disney Plus. I'm just worried.
Fair enough.
And they did give me my continued watching option.
Yeah, it's back now. Finally, you can finally see what you've been watching, which is great.
So yeah, I just the numbers do interest me. The numbers are interesting in the sense of this could be one of the. I don't know if any studio's ever done this.
Not like this.
Like made $8 billion in a year.
No, yeah, Disney definitely has the records for how much gross they've made in years.
And keep in mind,
they broke their own record, whatever the previous record was. They broke that one because it was them. So yeah.
And again, this ain't even like, I really think once Disney gets their Fantastic Four and X-Men, oh, they're gonna make money hand over fist.
I wonder what it's gonna be like next year because you don't have an Avengers Endgame next year.
No.
So I feel pretty confident there another movie's not gonna make $2.7 billion next year.
No, but I think when they bring out the Fantastic Four and they start laying the seeds and this groundwork with Disney Plus, and those movies do eventually show up, because you're going to get eventually an X-Men movie, you're going to get a Fantastic Four movie, and those will come on the heels of your Frozen 3, on your Avatar 2, 5, 6, 7. What happens with, like, could they? Avatar's going to make maybe $3 billion, unless it is hot garbage.
You just mean Avatar then?
Huh? What?
What?
Right on your arm, sir. What did you say?
I said Avatar was hot garbage. Avatar's fine. It's fine.
Wow.
It's fine. It ain't my favorite.
It ain't my favorite either. But
and before we go, are we wrapping up?
Yeah.
Go see Knives Out. It's really good. That's my non sequitur. Go see Knives Out. It's really good. If you're into whodunit mysteries, it's good. And that is how. Good job to Knives Out. That is how you do trailers without giving away movies.
Now, the last trailer supposedly did give something away. Did you see the last trailer?
I guess I need to go back and watch it.
Okay, I did. But I do want to see Knives Out. I was supposed to see it today, but I got family in town and I haven't been feeling good, so I'll probably me and the wife will take it this weekend. So let's get some of these comments real quick. You guys have really been on top, man. It's been hard to keep up with you guys in some of the comments, so let's go back. I want to say, David Cooper brings up, what's up, David Cooper? Good to see you. They said they're not enforcing the accords. What happens when a more consumer-friendly administration gets in next year? Will Disney chance that? I don't know. Damien Estrada says Disney is like Popeye's chicken sandwich. They're trying to suck you in to get you addicted to it.
I don't know if Disney, I mean, maybe, but I feel like Disney kind of got out of game studios because they had a couple of studios and they shut them down. Like, that's why you don't have Disney Infinity anymore. Because people were really into that, and that kind of went away, and they pulled some. They could get back into it, but I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. So yeah, I want to see. My wife wanted to see Knives Out, but I convinced her to see Queen and Slim. Beware of the Cyclops. Beware of the Cyclops.
I do need to see Queen and Slim.
Yeah, real life. Like, guys, even if you're not listening to us, the chat was awesome. It was hard to keep up, but I wanted to see Queen and Slim, but wife with the family go see it. So we're gonna see Knives Out this weekend, and you've been bothering me to see it, and I'm eventually going to watch it.
Watch what?
It was just on the tip of my tongue. Like, I was gonna watch it. Because you watched The Irishman already, right?
No.
Oh, what? Dolomite, that's what it was. Eventually I'm going to get to see it. But yeah, I want to see Irishman. I want to watch it, but that's 3 hours, man. It's 3.5 hours.
I got to be in the mood for Irishman. Now, I heard somebody in the chat said Irishman is good, and I believe that it is. But at 3 hours, man, I got to be.
David Estrada got your back, man. Avatar's like the Titanic, boring as hell. I will say this. Avatar don't really get going until the end, until they got to do that fight.
Avatar was good when it was called Fern Gully. Just saying.
I liked it better when it was Dancing with the Wolves.
Yeah, I'm just saying. We've seen it.
But guys, we really appreciate you guys. So what we're going to try to do from now on is try to do these on Fridays around 8 to 8:30, depending on whatever breaking news or whatever news we have going on. Hopefully we'll get a chance to knock this out for you guys and have these stories like this. I really appreciate it. We want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. So I'm going to try to go through, hit you guys up. Johnny G, IMAX, Brian Barrett, Miles Cage Jr., CB Hunts. CB, if it's you who lives in Houston, remember, at News19Nerds on Twitter and Instagram, let us know if how the Toys R Us is. Take pictures. Just basically give us a sense of what it's like going in there. Johnny G, there's somebody's name in Russian. I do not know how to pronounce your name, but I know that's Russian because I play Metro Exodus. Jeffrey Shears, Damien Estrada, Joe Greer 3. Who else is in here? T. Moore.
Lynetta McAlpine.
Yep. Storm Shadow's back. What's up? Breck Warren. Damon Estrada. Edward Sanchez Productions.
Did you say your boy David Cooper?
Yep, David Cooper, what's up? I think, man, you guys were busy in here.
Keep it up.
Keep it up,
next
yeah.
Time, next Friday.
Yeah, yeah. Tell your
Also in
friends.
the chat, let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, I'm gonna put up a page. So guys, for those of you who have gone to tourists who ever live in New Jersey or close to it, I'm gonna put up a chat so you guys can tell us what you want us to talk about next Friday. And
just saw somebody asked about the Mandalorian review. We're gonna turn the stream off to do our Mandalorian review.
it'll be up.
It'll be up. It won't have Lauren in it because Lauren's off in
Lauren's
Turkey
off,
Day.
and so I was off last Friday, so Lauren was here, so she's enjoying. She's with her family, so that's why she's not here. And also, a question for you, Michael: are you still playing Google Stadia? Somebody in chat wanted to know.
Huh?
Are you? That's a no, guys. That's a no.
We out.
We out. Peace.